All right, welcome everybody. We are so excited to have you here. If you can hear me, just let me know in the chat box. We are kicking off the thing in just few minutes. All right, I can see you can hear me. Wonderful. I hope you all have printed out your workbooks. If you have printed out your workbooks, give me a big thumbs up in the chat box. All right, I can see in the chat box. All right, so we are going to kick off the things with a little bit of instruction with our panel of expert coaches here, and then we will get into the seminar with a little instruction that you have to follow. So Kavita and Sunil, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up. I'll bring you online with me here live on a camera on. Dominica, the workbooks were already there in the group. Haven't you checked that? For everybody's information, I'm just passing it on again the group so that right now you can open it up on a device. All right, so my team is ready. Here we go. All right, I hope you can see me. So let me bring them on one by one. Mr. Sunil, your host now, please switch on your camera and switch on your microphone, and then make Kavita the host so that she can also switch on her camera and mic. All right, good.
Hello. Yeah.
All right, Kavita is host. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to all of us here into this amazing, wonderful seminar. It's back. Good to be back here again. So Kavita, there's an interesting point, and Mr. Sunil, there's an interesting point that I would love to, bring everybody's attention before we kick off the seminar. Now, we all have attended a lot of seminars like that, right? And when we go through these seminars, maybe 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, so we know from experience what is the one thing we have to do in the seminar to assure maximum output out of it, right? So one by one, let's start from you, Mr. Sunil, first. Share one key advice that you would love to give the audience so that they can apply it and they can get the best out of the seminar that is about to begin in just a few minutes from now. Over to you.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this seminar. It's going to be a really mind-changing seminar. And one point that I would like you to remember is repetition is the key. If you go on listening to this recording and go on doing exactly what is told to you in this seminar, your life is going to change like night and day. That's one thing you need to remember. Yes, Kavita.
Over to you. You're muted.
Okay, sorry. Repetition is the key to learning, as what you just said now. So everybody, you may hear some ideas being said 2 3 times. It's because it's for your own good that you have to keep hearing this so you can learn it. That's one. I would tell everybody on this call to be very open minded. This is a new, think of this as a new school, new education. You didn't get this education in college or school. It's new. So we have to keep our minds really open because this is about your future, which can be created today. Now, with this weekend, after this weekend, if you do exactly what we tell you to do, if you put into practice what we tell you, the right technique, the right way, the simplest way, you will see results for yourself.
Perfect.
So be very open minded to learning.
Wonderful, Kavita.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, I would like to share what Napoleon Hill said in his book. He said, skepticism is what we have everybody. When a new idea is presented to us, we have a tendency to ridicule and reject that idea like that. But my recommendation to you will be listen to the ideas that we are sharing with you. Don't accept them, don't reject them, play with those ideas. And you have enough time to play with those ideas 2.5 days. And then let's see where those ideas will take you. And yes, repetition is going to be important, but be present, be focused, open minded, so that you can get the most out of this 2.5 days, because your attention will dictate what you will get out of it. And before we start the seminar, I have something to demonstrate here to everybody. This is something that I would love to show you. You will get out of this seminar what you will put in. If you put in a little amount of attention, a little amount of focus, you will get a little out back. If you increase your focus, if you increase your attention, you will get a lot out of this seminar. So follow the law. The laws are same, doesn't matter whatever you're doing. So it's up to you. You want to put a little focus or you want to put more focus. And I hope you all are ready. You all are excited because we are so excited for it. All right. So before we begin, any more instructions you both would love to give?
Yeah, so Kuir, I would like to ask everybody whether they have now ready and prepared with all these three things that we have said, whether they're ready for the seminar, and whether they're ready with all their checklists, workbooks, what have been supplied to them. So kindly ask them to put it on the chat box.
Sure. Either you have them as a hard copy printout or you have them as in a soft copy. If you have the workbooks and if you're ready, let us know in the chat box.
And I would like
Absolutely.
to add, I would like to add to everyone, don't stress, don't panic if you haven't printed your workbook yet. It's okay. If you got into the seminar just about now, get yourself a diary, call it your golden diary of personal growth and development, because you will need to take lots of notes. And this is going to be a recorded seminar. You're going to get 15 days of replay. So you're not going to miss, even if you miss anything today, even if you have to go somewhere in the middle, remember you have 15 days replay. What we want for you is whenever you are present, stay focused, absorb, and keep absorbing during the replays also. So don't stress. When the mind is not calm, you will not absorb as much as you can. So keep your mind very calm at all times.
Absolutely. All right. So you have answered. Somebody said whether it's going to get the courses recorded or not. Yes, there is recording for 15 days, guys. So be ready, be prepared, open minded, have a blank sheet of diary or the paper and be ready. You're going to make a lot of notes because the
Yes.
ideas, they are going to be rocking. All right.
Yeah, I have one more thing to say. As
Sure.
Kavita said, that absorb everything. Keep your mind like a sponge, and simply go on absorbing it. The sponge will go on taking as much as you want to, right? So come on, get set, all set, ready, go.
Right. Perfect. Let's begin then. All right. So guys, I will just you have to make me the host again. So I'll share my PPTs and I'm all ready to go. Kavita, I think.
Before we go, I
Yeah.
just want to thank everyone for being on this seminar, because it shows me that you are dedicated to your own growth, you value yourself, you prioritize your own growth. above everything else, because it's your life. You are the star of your movie. And I want to congratulate all of you for taking this step, for being here today. You can even clap for yourself.
Absolutely. Everybody has to do the clap. You know, you have to
Yeah.
be ready, just like Sandy saying, woohoo, something like
Woohoo!
that.
All
Awesome.
right. Should I make you the host?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just remind me how I do that.
Just click on my name and then it will show you the panel to make me host.
Okay.
Just go to the panelist, click on my name, the more, and then it will show you to host.
I
All
did.
right.
Okay.
All right. So we are all ready and all set. Let me quickly just share the PowerPoint with you. We are all ready because this is going to be something, not just something very amazing. And I want you to just, if you have printed out your workbooks, write down your name and your date on that workbook. Date is very important so that you can remember when you look back that this is something you have done which really shifted your life. Keep in mind, date is very, very, very important. All right. Okay, so welcome to the day one of this amazing, wonderful, powerful seminar we have here, the Paradigm Switch Seminar. Now, before beginning with the seminar and before getting into the subjects, there is a one very, very important point I would love to emphasize upon you. And that point is on the workbook, page number 2. And I would love you to move to that page number 2 right now. Move to that page number 2 and see what we have here, because this to me explains the whole summary of personal development. It doesn't matter wherever you are. It doesn't matter what are you doing. This is the real deal here, because on the page number 2, we have a caution and we have something for you which we want you to really, really understand. So read every single word here many, many times. Even if you have to read this whole copy of 64 pages thousands times, do it, because then you will get the most out of it. So pay very close attention what he says here. On the first paragraph, just after the quote, the lines are, there is a marvelous inner world that exists within us, and the revelation of such world enables us to do, attain, and achieve anything that we desire within the bounds and the limits of the nature. That means whatever your heart's desires is, you can have them. And we are going to provoke you to bring those heart's desire on the surface during this weekend, because paradigm is your inner talking that keeps you stuck, and it doesn't allow you to bring that desire out on the surface. And if you don't know about the paradigm, you may try to argue with that. But let me tell you, once you will understand the paradigm, you will realize how much strong grip paradigm has on your thinking and on every single thing that you do in your life. Now, listen carefully. The caution. And this is something very, very important. And this is what I learned from Napoleon Hill. And he taught it in the first book that he wrote, The Laws of Success, way, way back in early 1930s. He said that it should be kept in mind from the beginning to the end of the seminar that the value of the principles and philosophy lies in the thought stimuli it will produce in the mind of the student. That means the value of this seminar not only just depends in the workbook that you have got, the 64 pages, but the value of the philosophy is in the ideas that you're going to attract while you are here with us for the next 2.5 days. I still remember whenever I'm attending Bob's seminar, whenever I'm studying any program, my mind is tuned into a higher frequency, and ideas are like flashing on the screen of my mind, flashing on the screen of my mind. That's why we said you got to be prepared with a pen and a diary, because you don't want to miss on the ideas that are going to flash on the screen of your mind. Because Earl Nightingale said, ideas are like slippery fish, and if you don't catch them with the needle of a pencil, they will go away and will never come back. So you got to pick those ideas, put them on paper, and decide that's where I am going. And then again, understand that we are going to share with you a lot of different methods, different ideas, and understand that every single idea is important. Just like the way to develop this physical body, I have to use many different form of exercises. To build your mind, you have to use many different set of exercises. And all those exercises we are covering here in this 2.5 days. So be relaxed, buckle up your seatbelts, and get ready for the ride. And let's begin the journey of paradigm. Paradigm switch. What it is basically, it is an environment where the dreams are built and achieved. Now, why I say that this is an environment where dreams are built and achieved? Because I have seen many people going through the same process and really achieving what their heart's desire was. And we all who are right now here teaching this material, we're the prime example of that. You're going to learn about it. Now, why I'm sharing all these things with you? Not to impress you, but impress upon you that your dreams are important. Your dreams are really, really important to you, and you have to give your dreams the attention that they seek. Because if you don't give the attention they seek, you will probably be allowing your paradigms to take charge of yourself. And that's what we don't want. We want you to get out of your comfort zone. We want you to really stretch yourself, stretch your mind to such a great limits that you can never, ever come back to the old you. We are going to provoke you, think better of you, build great ideas about you, and really go after those ideas. So be ready, because now when I was preparing about this seminar, the paradigm switch, and I was thinking about it, that I want to put it in a very simplest way so that even a layman can understand it. And I was thinking about it, how I can share that idea with the audience, that from the very first slide, they get it, what this paradigm switch is all about. And I was thinking about it. And then the definition that Buckminster Fuller gave strikes my mind. And I thought, this is the idea that you should understand. Listen carefully what the Buckminster Fuller is saying here. He said, you never change things by fighting existing reality. To change things or to change something, build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. Now, what does it mean? Ask yourself how many times you are trying to fix something on the outside. There's a problem in relation, you're fixing things on the outside. There's a problem in business, you're fixing things on the outside. In other words, you're looking at whether your salespeople are following the procedure or not. You're looking at the stocks. If your income is not growing, you're looking at all the reasons that are out there on the outside. And you're always trying to fight with the reality. Do this, be this, have this. And it's like fight and flight. But the results are never happening. You know why? Because you are going to the same position with the same mindset over and over and over again. And if you want different results, serious different results, you have to transform your mind in a very serious way. And that's what this seminar is all about. It's about building that new model. The new model that will help you to earn the income that you want to earn, that will help you to get into the better relationship that you want to have, the health you want to build, the job you want to do, the business you want to start. Every single thing will be yours only if you make a committed decision. And decision is a very, very important part about it. So be ready to build that new model. And to help you to understand all that, I want you to take back to 2015. Now, this is where everything started for me. 2015, I still remember at that time, it was almost 1 year since I have passed out my college, and I was struggling from one job to another job. And I have still remember, I have shifted maybe 3-4 jobs during that time in one single year. I have tried 2-3 different businesses. Nothing was working for me. And I was like into kind of a silent depression where nobody knows that I was, but from inside, I know that I was in that situation. I was wandering from this point to that point and always making nothing happen. And there was a one question that was really disturbing me. And the question was, why? Why some of my college students who was around the same position where I was are already into the good jobs, but I'm struggling? Why there are some people who are earning a lot of money and I'm still struggling? Because I have seen my cousin brothers and many other people who were in my family who do the same profession, who do the same degree, and they got good jobs. I was struggling. And it was very common for me to have those questions on my mind. And I was looking for the answers. Like what I can do. I mean, how I can change my life about it. And then this man, it changed everything for me. Bob Proctor. I still remember somebody has given me the movie Secret to watch in 2010. I didn't watch it with that much intention. But in 2015, I don't know what happened, but I was forced to go back and watch the movie again. I watched that movie. As soon as I watched the movie, I got connected with him. It was like that. There was a connection between me and Bob, and I felt something that he knows what I have to do if I want to grow in my life. Then I made the decision that I'm going to do whatever I can do, and I want to learn from the best. And for me, he was the best, and he still is the best because he has spent his whole life, 60 years, studying about human behavior, human potential, our mind, why we do the things that we do, and why we don't do the thing that we really want to do. And for me, he was the one man that I have to go after if I want to learn about myself. And then the things started following in one place to another. Now I want you to look at this email. This is something really interesting that happened with me, and it is around 27th of September 2015. And you know what I told you? It was 2015 when I started asking myself questions, and this was the result of asking those questions. I have one of my professor who I really admire a lot in my college. I dropped him an email and I told him everything about what I was feeling at that time. And I explained him very beautifully that I want to be in this business. I want to be doing, exactly what Bob Proctor is doing. No clue how I'm going to do it and how I can have a clue. I was just 23 years of age at that time. And anybody can have big dreams, but everybody feels the fear at that time. I felt the same. I was wandering from one point to another, having no idea whether I will ever be able to get to Bob, whether ever be able to learn from him or his company. I had no clue whatsoever how I am going to achieve my goal. And this is a point I want to put across to every single one who is on this call right now. Whatever your heart's desire is, allow it to come out. For God's sake, allow it to come out. You don't have to know how you're going to get that desire, but you just have to know you are going to get that desire. And this was my desire way back in 2015 when I said, I want to do what Bob is doing. No idea, no clue how to do it. But then 1 year later, I never forget this date. 17th of July, 2016. My life take a complete turnaround. I received a phone call from a great gentleman who was certified by Bob Proctor, Naveed Asif, and Sonika. They changed my life. They were my first mentors along with Bob Proctor in 2016. And I get enrolled into Bob Proctor's program, Thinking into Results. And you know what? There is a great story behind it. When I was on a phone call with Naveed, something strange happened with me. And what was that? Now, build the image as I am telling you, okay? Try to put yourself into my position and try to relate to the idea that I'm conveying. Because if you get the idea in this story, my dear friends, you will have the keys to the kingdom. And I bet on that. I can bet on that you will have the keys to the kingdom if you really get the idea. Now, I may tell you the same idea 100 times during this weekend, but you have to be on the same vibration to get that idea. Open your mind and listen very carefully. At that time, when I had a phone call with Naveed Asif, I has already done 4 or 5 jobs. Nothing worked for me, and I was into my fifth or maybe sixth job at that time, and I was just earning maybe a little bit more than $100 a month, not more than that. And I was on a phone call with this young boy, and what fascinated me about him was he was around the same age where I was, but the only difference was he was standing there with the man, Mr. Bob Proctor, doing what I wanted to do, and he has already done that. And that inspires me. That inspires me. And I remember Bob said one thing every single day. He said, find somebody who has done that, what you want to do, and get help from them. And when I look at that man, Naveed Asif, I know that he's the one who will show me how to get it. And on a phone call, something interesting happened. We had a great conversation of 30-40 minutes, and he kept on asking me, what do you really want? What do you really want? And I kept on telling him over and over and over again that I want to earn a lot more money. I want to earn a little more money so that I can be a little bit more financially happy in my life, so that my life can move in the right direction a little bit more better. And he keep on telling me, I can show you how to do it. I can show you how to do it. I can show you how to do it. And I was wondering, he's telling me I can show you how to do it, but he's not telling me how he can show me how to do it. And in the end, he told me how committed and willing you are. Now, in the first place, I said, yes, I'm very committed. I'm very willing. And the next thing he told me, all right, we will coach you. We will mentor you into a program. Now, build the image as I'm saying this. He said, we will coach you, we will mentor you into a program, and the program will cost you $5,000. Yes, you feel the silence? That was the same silence I had 5 years ago on the phone. And he sensed that. And he said, all right, what happened? I said, okay, I will be honest with you. I'm just earning $100 a month. How I am supposed to pay $5,000 to you? And the next question he asked me just bamboozled me. He said, from how many years you have been following Bob? I said, following just for a year, but I have been watched his video and The Secret and all that stuff from 4 or 5 years. He said, what he teaches about decisions. I said, he teaches if you want something, you want it. Doesn't matter how much it costs you, you will get the money. He said, then why the hell you are not following that? And I was like, wait a minute. What he is telling me? He was telling me the truth. He said, do you believe what Bob teaches? I said, yes, I do. He said, then why not you make a decision? I said, but how I can make when I don't have the money? He said, that's what not Bob teaches. Bob said, if you want to do it, that's it. That's the only prerequisite. It doesn't matter whether you have the money in the bank account or not. Nothing ever is the consideration. Consideration is, do you want it? Do you want it? And I was thinking like that, all right, this is the time to make a decision. And on the phone call, I tried to avoid the situation. You know, we tend to do it whenever we are on a sales call and somebody is telling us something and we feel that we don't have a money. What we say, usually we say, I will get back to you. I will get back to you. And he said, you know what? If I cut the call, you will never get back to me because you have not made the decision. And I felt that, all right, now is the time to really make that move that I'm afraid to make. And without even thinking from where I will come up with the money, from where I will gather the resources, I tell Naveed on the phone call, Naveed, I'm joining the program. Without even any kind of clue from where I will come up with the money. But then he told me something. He said, Sukhbir, I know that right now you don't have the money. And he said, and if you're going to be on that vibration where you was 5 minutes ago, you are not going to attract the money. He said, I want you to see the money coming. I want you to really feel it. And then he said, I want you to put your mind on work, how you can come up with that money. And imagine a person who is earning $100 a month. He cannot even imagine of 1,000, how he can imagine of something of 5,000. Bamboozling the mind, isn't it? It was for me. I was wondering at that time, okay, what I can do now? What I can do now? I had no idea, but I have made the decision. I came back, I went to the terrace to listen to the call. So I came back to my room and I closed my room and I started thinking whether I made the right decision or not. And then I get out. I asked my mom, Mom, I want to do a program. It is going to cost me around 5,000 and something like that. And a stunned silence from her side also. How she can help me? She's not earning, but she told me something that is always in my heart. She said, I don't know why you want it. I don't know how you will get it, but if you want it, then go for it. That's it. My father was completely unaware about it because he hasn't studied. He never went to school, high school. So he has already spent everything that he could spend on my college degree. So he had no more money to give me. Now you can imagine I was in a situation where the only possible thing for me could have been to quit, never pick up his phone, never reply his messages, but I never did that. I reply every single message he gave me. I reply every single phone he gave me. And I just keep on telling him, Naveed, I will get into the program. I will get into the program no matter how. So what I did, I call my friends to have some money on loan. Nobody gives me. I went to banks. I still remember I went to 6, 7 bank. Every single bank we have in our area, every single person told me straight into my face, you are not eligible to get a loan. All those words were striking me straight here that after doing a lot of things, am I not still worthy of getting all these benefits? And I was trying to self-evaluate myself. But I still remember Bob's story. He said, keep knocking, keep knocking. You will find someone who will give you that money. And you know what Bob said? When you make a decision, the strange and marvelous thing begins to happen, because when you make a decision, you switch yourself onto a different frequency. My decision was committed. And you know what happened? I told you at that time I was doing a job. And before that job, I has done 4 or 5 different jobs also. And before that, there was a one job that I have done. And for that job, I never, ever get paid any single money. But that strange day, something happened. When I reaffirmed to myself that I'm going to come up with the money, I received a phone call. And my old boss told me, Sukhbir, we have some money pending on your side and we want to give it to you. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not supposed to happen. How? But it was happening. Next day I got my money, but that was not enough. It was just maybe 30,000-40,000 rupees, around about $300 or $400, and still way away from the 5,000. But my decision was committed. I gave him a phone call and I said, Naveed, that's all I have, and I want to really get into the program. Can we do something about it? And then he get me into the program. I started my journey. I started studying from them. I started learning from them. But I was still making the same mistake. I was into the program, but I have not decided what do I really wanted out of my life. And that's the same mistake many of you are going to make. But we want to warn you. Tomorrow morning, you are going to learn a lot about goals. But I want you to keep thinking about it from this point onwards. That what do you really want? And then I'm really grateful for every single person who supported me in my journey. There are a couple of individuals who I'm really, really thankful for. One is my sister, and another one is someone very close to my heart. They helped me, they supported me. And 6 months later, after making that decision, I started working for them. I started an online business. I started selling Bob's program, and I end up generating a revenue of $50,000 for my mentors. They end up getting me $10,000, and I paid my whole fees for the program. And even I invested the extra $5,000 into my development, because I know that the more I put in right there, nobody can get it back from me. You know what I did in all this story? I just stick to my words. And it was a firm decision. All started with this question. Bob Proctor, what do you really want? I still have the same photograph that I printed out in 2015. It's right there on the top of the wall there. Every single day I wake up to this question, what do I really want? What do I really want? What do I really want? And that's what you have to ask yourself. Now I see somebody who is sending in the chat box, this is what I missed and now I got. You see, this is just the 30 minutes of the seminar and you are already started getting it. If your mind is open, you are going to get a lot out of it. And you know what? I started my journey from here. That was my first office in 2015. And you can see even I don't have a good camera at that time and the image is so blurry. It was my office, it was my sleeping room, my eating room, everything. And if you look at the mirror on the right side, you see a image of a map right there. And on that map, I have wrote down that I am building a company. This is what I did. 5 years ago, I had a pen in my hand and on a piece of paper, I wrote down that I want to build a company which will be operating worldwide. And today is the proof of that. Right now in this seminar, we are having people from 5 different countries. It all happened because I made the decision 5 years ago that I'm going to do it. And we encourage you to make the decision during this seminar. Make those decisions that you're not making. Make those decisions that you was always afraid of making. Really be open-minded. And somebody is saying here, this is our first meeting, I still remember. All right, your name is not coming here. So if I see your name, then I may be able to know who is commenting that. But yes, well, let's get back to the point here. The point here is I started from here. I started from here, and then a year later, just in a year, I get to there. You see, the transformation began to happen. It was starting to happen. I had a lot kind of stuff there. The books were getting bigger, better and better. I have more things there. The office was getting a little better. Everything was improving. Then another year later, I was into there. And now you can see me right here. All this happened. You know why? I started with an idea in my mind. You are going to come across with many ideas during 2.5 days. But the important aspect of those ideas are going to be, are you really willing and committed to stick with those ideas and really make them click? Because if you are not, then you cannot expect the reward. Like Bob said that. He said, if you don't act upon your ideas, you don't deserve the reward. But at the same time, my dear friends, if you act, you deserve the reward. That's the law. What you put out will come back. What you put out will come back. That is the absolute law. And you got to focus on it. That remember what I said, what you will get out of this seminar depends upon what you put in. You put in a little in, you will get a little out. You put in a lot in, you will get a lot out. It's all in the cause and effect. Emerson said that it is the laws of the laws. And that's not the only thing that I have done. I was the only person from my family who went outside India for vacations, not for the work. I made great friends and awesome friends. And I'm still grateful for every single person who has helped me in this my journey. And it is just keep getting better and better and better. But 5 years ago, it was all a dream. 5 years ago, it was all a dream. You might be having dreams that you are letting on the table. You might be having ideas that you really want to work on. And you might be having aspirations that you want to fulfill in your life. But you know what? You're letting them to be on the table because the paradigm is stopping you. So from this point onwards, I really want you to make a commitment with yourself that I am going to do every single thing that I'm going to learn in this seminar. Because you are right now, right here for growth. And your growth depends upon how much willing you are to really put in. And this seminar is about your dreams. You know what I said? Paradigm switch is an environment where dreams are built and achieved. I said it for a reason. I don't just said it to flatter you. There is a reason in that. Now I want you to open in your workbook page number 4. Go to your workbook on page number 4. Workbook page number 4. Now on page number 4, I have my favorite book right there. One of my favorite, As a Man Thinking by James Allen. It is a very small little book, but this book contains the wisdom of ages. And listen what the author is saying here about dreams. He said, dreams, lofty dreams. And as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall be one day. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. The greatest achievement was at first for a time a dream. You might be having a dream right now. You might be having an idea that you want to manifest. You might be having a bigger and grander vision of your life. And our encouragement to you in this 2.5 days, focus on those dreams. Let those dreams be there in your eyes and in your heart. Let those dreams not just stay on the table, pick them up and work towards them. What he said, the greatest achievement in the second paragraph, the greatest achievement was at first and for a time a dream. The oak tree sleeps in the acorn. The bird waits in the egg. And the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are the seedling of realities. Every single person who has done something great in their life was once a dreamer. And not just a wishy-washy dreamer, he was really willing enough to put his life on a stake for the accomplishment of his worthy ideal. Remember what Earl Nightingale said? He said, success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means you know where you are and where you are going, and then you progressively move towards it. And keep in mind, the goal that you're going after must be worthy of your life. Your goal must be big enough that it excites you and scares you. It should be worthy of your time. You're already worthy of achieving anything that you want to achieve, but that idea, that dream, must be worthy of your time, must be worthy of your effort, and must be worthy of all the investment that you're going to make along the way in you, because that dream is a big concept. My dream that I'm working towards to become better and to become the best in the field is very big dream for me. And I'm working on it every single day. And I never feel bored about it. I never feel exhausted. I just feel happy, happier, and happiest every single day. Why? Because I'm connected with my worthy ideal. And that's what he said in the third line. He said, now third line is very important. In fact, the third paragraph, if you have a marker right now, I want you to underline it, put a big star across it. And even if you can write it on a big piece of paper in bold letters, write it and then paste it somewhere where you can see it every single day. He said, your circumstances may be uncongenial, but they shall not remain, they shall not long remain the same. So if you perceive an idea and strive to reach it, in simplest way, you got to decide. You got to decide on that dream. The dreams that is on the table, the dream that wants your attention, the dream that seeks your attention. Once you give that dream that attention, you are going to become so happy, so excited about it. Really give that dream that attention. You cannot travel within and stand still without. What does that mean? That means if you want to go towards your dreams and ideals, you got to pay the price. And the price is not just the money. The price is in many, many different forms. The price of, working on it every single day, the price of attention, the price of, quitting the habits that are not supporting you. So the dreams are the settling of realities. And I love these lines from Lawrence A. Arabia. He said, all men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by the night in the dusty recesses of their mind wake in the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dreams with open eyes. To make it possible, this I did. And that's what I want you to do. Don't just let your dreams to be the dream that you see in the night. Let your dream that keeps you awake, keeps you excited, keeps you motivated, and become that dangerous man who act on their dream and who are willing to get it, doesn't matter what happens. Once you reach that attitude of life, every single thing will be possible. Every single thing will be possible for you. And you must burn that paragraph into your mind from Lawrence Arabia. I really love it. I mean, I fall in love with that idea when Bob shared it in one of the seminars. This is a big, big idea. So, what do you really love to do? Now, understand that when I ask you, what do you really love to do? You already know what it is, but you got to accept that idea. Now, there are many of you who want to open their businesses. There are many of you who want to do something bigger. There are many of you who has a dream in their heart, but you know what the problem is? They are letting someone else's opinion to stop them. I want you to remember what Bill Goves said. Now, Bill Goves is considered as the Frank Sinatra of public speaking. And Bob Proctor said that. He said once he was attending a conference of Bill Goves, and Bill Goves was standing in the middle of the room having a handheld mic like there was 500 people here, or maybe 5,500 here, 1,000 people were there in the room, and he said, if I want to be free, I gotta be me. Not the me you think I should be, not the me my parents think I should be, not the me my spouse think I should be, not the me my friends think I should be. If I want to be free, I gotta be me. And if you want to be free, you have to be you. And you know who the better you is. Never let anyone's opinion to feel bad about your dreams. Nobody has the power to put you down. It happens when you give them your own remote control. You are going to learn about it when we will get into the subject of mind, when I'll explain about mind, how mind function and all that stuff. You are really going to get it. It will be like connecting the dots at that time. But you really, really have to understand that. What do you really, really want? Once again, it's not about what your mama wants you to be. It's not about what your daddy wants you to be. It's about what do you really want. And look at this quote from Steve Jobs. He said, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. What does that mean? Now, this is coming from a man who is well renowned for the work he has done. Very well renowned. He was not anybody. He was something great. Now, Sandy Gallagher shared something in one of the seminars. There is a person who's a very great interviewer, Larry King. Maybe some of you have watched his videos. He has interviewed many of the world's famous and top-notch personality. And Sandy Gallagher asked Larry King a question. He said, Larry, you have interviewed almost every successful individual. How many of you think out of those people are really living the life they want to live? Larry King take a pause for a few seconds, and after that he said, Sandy, very few. So what's the point here? The point here is there are many people who are doing things for the sake of doing to impress somebody, and they're letting their heart's desire to fade away. Don't let it happen. If I want to be free, I gotta be me. Not the me you think I should be, not the me anybody else think I should be. If you want to be free, you gotta be you. Everybody wants growth. And I believe there is no single one person on this call who don't want to grow. Every single person wants to grow. It doesn't matter wherever you are. Growth is a law of nature. Either you create or you disintegrate. That's the basic law of universe. There is nothing like stationary wherever it is. That's the truth. Everything is either growing or dying. But it's our choice. Whether we want to be on the face of growth or we want to be on the face of disintegration. But there is something very important that comes along with growth. If you want to grow, you have to change. You have to change. Growth never ever comes without change. If you want to grow, you have to change. Look at every single thing that grows. The change is the only constant in life. If you don't believe it, look at yourself when you was a little baby and compare yourself right now where you are. Millions of changes there in you. Every single day, there are some changes happening in technology. Every single day, your mobile phone's getting updates for your applications. Every single day, you're not the same you. Although to some people, it seems like that they are the same ones, but they're not. Every single day, there are changes happening in you. So are you willing to change? That's the question here, my dear friends. Am I willing to change? Because if you are not, then it is going to be a difficult ride for you. And you really have to ask yourself a question. Am I really willing to change? Are you really willing to change? Let me know in the chat box. Let some buzz coming in. Are you really willing to change? Let me know in the chat box if you are. Somebody said, I want change. Ready? Yes. Yes. Avinash said yes 2 times. Awesome. Awesome from Cure. Wonderful. Yes. Great. I see every one of you participating here. And guess what? If you're participating here, you're already on the way to change, because your change starts with a choice. And you have already made that choice for being here in this seminar. You know, we have sent invitation to thousands of people, but you are the lucky ones who made the decision and who consciously or unconsciously has followed the first principle of success. It's time to change. And what you have to change, look at this image very clearly. Watch this image right now, right here, and really look at that as much focus you can give it to it. You have to reprogram and rewire everything that is right there in the mind. And that what you have to change is paradigm. Paradigm is the name of the game. And this seminar is all dedicated to paradigms. You got to change your paradigm if you want better results. You got to change your conditioning if you want better results. And you got to change what's happening right there at the top of the mind. And what's that change? Understand what is paradigm. Paradigm is a program in our subconscious mind that has exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all our behavior is habitual. What does I mean by it? Ask yourself, when you wake up in the morning, you follow a routine. When you wake up, you go and brush your teeth. And then everybody has their own routine. And every single thing that you do on every day, it is controlled by automatic reactions. And that's what paradigm is. When you talk to a prospect or to a potential client, you're not talking the way you know you should talk. You are talking the way you're programmed to talk. When you are talking to your family member, sometimes we don't treat our family members as well as we should treat them. You know why? On certain times, our paradigm have all control over ourselves and we are not behaving the way should we behave. Paradigm is like a software. For example, we put softwares in our mobile phone. We put softwares right there and that runs the whole mobile. For example, right now, I have Zoom installed on my laptop. I have Microsoft Office installed on my laptop. That is the only reason I'm able to deliver these seminars to you all over the world. And yes, I have internet connectivity also. All those are programs that I have installed here to deliver this message to you. Imagine if I have none of them, what would have happened? I would have not been able to stream this seminar to all over the world. Similarly, in your mind, there are some paradigm. The program, the software is installed. Every single thing that you're getting in life right now, it is based upon those softwares that are conditioned in your subconscious mind. Paradigm is the talking going on in your subconscious mind, and it is ruining every single opportunity if you allow your paradigm to influence your thinking. And that's what we do all the time. We allow paradigms to influence our thinking. Most people never understand paradigm. Most people never study paradigm. You know why? Because they don't know how much powerful this subject is. But once you understand, you would never ever stop studying it, because there is a power in this subject. Now I want you to look at this image right now. Really look at that image. Look at this small baby girl. She is appreciating those flowers. Like, she is in sync with that flower right now. I want to ask you a question. When was the last time you appreciated yourself? Be honest. This seminar depends, the outcome you will get out of it depends upon your honesty that you dictate here. When was the last time when you truly appreciated yourself? Nobody was there and you were saying that, yes, I am proud of myself. When was the last time you did that? If you have never done it, let me know in the chat box by yes or no. And I won't be surprised if I got many answers saying that we have never done it. Somebody said difficult to remember, long time, sometimes 2 years ago, don't remember. All right, somebody said I did it. Yeah, the people who are aware about it, they do it. But there are many of you who don't do it. Now I want you to understand why we don't do it. Somebody said long time ago, forget and when. Appreciate it then, not then do it. Not sure. Now I want you to realize what is happening right now, right here with us. I want you to get back to your childhood. Okay, pay very close attention. Somebody said never do it. Even if I feel I did something great, did not call it loudly. All right, there are many different reasons, but understand what is the point here. When you was a little kid, you passed out your first class. You were so happy, so excited, pumping up to your family. You showed your report card to your mommy and you said, Mommy, I got 70%. Straight away, the father came in and he said, what the hell? Just 70? All of a sudden, your excitement that was there that you got 70 when you was compared with the neighbor's son, that the neighbor's son got 75, your morale was like murdered at that time. And you know what? That never stopped there. From one class to another class, from school to college, you went to college and you get a college and you came home and you told your mom or dad that I got this college. And once again, somebody in your family told you, what? That rubbish college? Why don't you go for the best college? See that neighbor's son, your uncle's son is going to the best college. Once again, we was not appreciated for our choices. Never appreciated for our choices. And this keep on going. We passed our college into a job. Once again, very happy with our job, very proud, came back home explaining our parents, I got my first job, that's my salary. Once again, it was compared, my dear friends, with your friends, how much your friend is getting. And then again, you was compared. You see, from a little kid to adult, you was compared on every different stage with every different idea. That comparison got locked up right there in the cells of your brain, and you stopped appreciating yourself. That's just one paradigm. There are going to be many paradigms like that. And you really have to think very serious about this question. Maybe you're appreciating yourself in one area, one place, but maybe there is somewhere else where you're not doing it. Are you truly appreciating yourself all the time? That's my question, my dear friends. But we don't do it. And the answer is pretty simple why we don't do it. You know why? Because we let the things bother us. We let the things really, really bother us. Why? We have been raised that way. And understand that to be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigms. Now you can say that I'm willing and able, but how you can be able when you don't know how to change it? That's what we are going to show you, how to change it. But before we start changing it, there are some ground rules. There are some basic ideas we must burn into our mind. We must gain super clarity about it. So remember, to be able to shape your future, you got to be able and willing to change your paradigm. Ask yourself a question: am I willing? Am I able? You are able. That's what the science and theology will tell you. They will tell you, as a human being, you're blessed with all the potential that you ever want, and you are able to do every single thing that you want to do in your life. You are well and truly able. But the willing is in your hand. Are you willing to put in the effort? Are you willing to put in the hard work? Are you willing to really go out there and make things happen? That's the point here. And understand here, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you are not. Most of the time, when we start going after a goal, we start thinking about it. I cannot do it because I don't have this. I'm not that person. I'm not that good. They can do it. I cannot. They are better than me. I don't have a team like that. I don't have a resources like them. You see what that where the tension is? It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you are not. And when you're thinking about somebody else and you're saying, I'm not that, I don't have that, your attention is outward bound. And what will happen? Your paradigm will jump pack you and you will not be able to get out of it until or unless you understand it. If your paradigm stays in control, nothing changes. You must change the paradigm, a new lens, a new model, and that changes our reality. You got to start looking at things from a different perspective. Start looking at ideas from a different point of view. Then there is going to be a change, my dear friends. Then there is going to be a change. But you really got to connect with it. You really got to. And there is a 7-step process to change the paradigm. I want you to go back to the page number 7 right now. It's a coincidence. Page number 7 and 7 steps. All right. So open your workbook on page number 7 right now, right here. And look at that page number 7. These are the 7 steps that has to be there. You know, it's like you have to take every single one of them if you want to bring that change in you. If you really want to shift your paradigms, if you really want to get into the next level of your life, you must have a tick mark on all of 7s, and all these 7 pieces of puzzle has to be there in the right order to bring the shift that you're seeking. And that's what those 7 models are. It starts with where I am going, who I am, where I am now, my critical decisions, paying the price, being comfortable with the uncomfortable, and my commitment. So let's learn about it one by one. Step number 1, where am I going? Understand what Napoleon Hill said. You know, he said, imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. You have to start where you are ending. What does it mean? You have to start from the place where you want to reach. You have to understand where I am going. For example, if I want to use the GPS of my mobile phone, I have to put in the location where I want to go. If I don't know where I am going, even the most powerful tool in this mobile phone will be useless. And guess what? You paid to get this tool, but the GPS on your mind has been given to you for free. That's what Earl Nightingale said. He said, the things we got in free, we don't value them. And the most important part, he said, is our mind that is given to us by God, but we don't value it. There is an inbuilt GPS, but it works when you decide, where am I going? So you got to be very, very honest with yourself, and you have to decide where I am going. Like there was a great painter, Van Gogh, the quote is there on page number 8. He said, when the interviewer asked him, you know, how did he do such magnificent work? He said, I dream my painting, then I paint my dream. What a beautiful line. I repeated, Van Gogh, when he was interviewed by somebody and somebody asked how he is doing such a great work, he said, I dream my painting, then I paint my dream. So you have to dream your goal and then you have to make it happen. In other words, you have to set your sights on the idea that you strive to reach. The desire, the heart's calling, the idea that is pumping out every single time, and understand that we are spiritual being. That's why we always want more, want more, want more. Our spiritual perfection is best, but we have to use it that way. But the problem is that we are not using it. So you really have to get in touch with it. Remember what Benstein said. He said the indispensable first step in getting the thing that you want out of life is deciding what you want. As I said, tonight's session is all about opening your mind up. Opening your mind up. It's just like the way, before you start making something with the clay, you have to loosen it up. Not too hard, not too soft, perfect mixture so that you can play around with that. So today's session is all about loosening up your mind so that you will be ready to play with yourself at a full level the next 2 days. So decide today, till tonight, where I'm going. And once you decide that, you have to discover, who am I? Who am I? I'm going to get into details of that, who am I, but you really have to ask yourself a question, who am I? And understand that you are not just your physical body. Nobody said that I am hand, I am eyes. You said my hand, my eyes, but that's not who you are. That's just a physical body. You're a spiritual being, you're a soul, and you're living in this physical body, and you have higher intellectual faculties. That's who you are, my dear friends. And you are more capable than you think you are. You are more powerful than you think you are. And you have more potential locked up in the atoms of your body than you can ever imagine. There is 11 million kilowatts of potential energy locked up in the atoms of your body. And that energy can be used to light up a one industrial city for the whole world. And that energy can be used to light up a one industrial city for the whole world.
Can you all hear me? Can somebody hear me? I think there must be a technical issue and Sukhvir should be back anytime. So by default, I become the host now. And if anybody would like to share what they got, y'all can, any questions so far, till Sukhvir comes back, we can probably take some questions or we can help clarify certain points that you had. This is a very, very powerful information. if you guys put this into practice, just how Sukhvir is teaching, the first two steps itself, opening and loosening mind. Will there be a small break in between? I think there will be a break where he will ask you to do some, exercise. But guys, feel free if you need to take a break, y'all can go and it's always going to be, the replay will be there afterwards, so it's not a problem. Somebody can share the paradigms that got locked up, that you got locked up. What is your name, the person asking the question? Because it's appearing as numbers. Sarvan. Okay. Hi, Sarvan. Okay, 1 minute. One question. If I know what I want, how do I validate that it is exactly what I want? Because your heart will feel it. You'll feel it from the core of your heart. You will really, really, it will pull at something inside your heart. This is why your what do you want is important. But more important than that is, why do you want it? Ask yourself that question. Why do I want what I want? And that will be the trigger that will make you realize why you want it. Okay, Sukhvir is here. Let him take over and we'll take questions later. Sarvan, I'll get back to you also.
We are back, Kavita. So things are sorted. So I'll begin from where we left off.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. If you can just see me and if you can hear me, just let me know in the chat box. Let's get started from where we left off. There are no breakages. All right. Just a minute. And just checking in the chat if you can hear me and see me. All right. So in the meanwhile, I'm just fixing my another screen. What I will recommend you to do is, while I'm fixing my screen, guys, I want you to do something. In your workbook, go to page number 6. Go to page number 6 in your workbook right now. Okay. Go to page number 6. And in page number 6, there are certain questions. I want you to answer those questions. Answer those questions right now. And I'm giving you 5 minutes and then we are beginning. All right. I hope you got the instructions. Open the page number 6 and answer those questions. There are 12 questions. Take few seconds for every question and finish them quickly in just a few minutes. Do it. All right. I hope you are answering these questions, and these questions are really, really making you to think about yourself. Because these questions are not there just for the sake of, asking you questions. These questions are there because we really want you to get connected with them. These questions are really going to help you to understand where I am going and who I am. So really, really think about them in a very honest approach. Okay. Give it the attention that it requires. All right. So I'll give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes, then we will have we get into the topic for 10 to 15 minutes more. Then there is a break of 15 minutes. Okay. Ghazal, the questions are right there on page number 6. It's on their page number 6. When you said I missed, do you mean you missed printing them out? Okay, you got it. Great. Wonderful. All right. So get into those questions. Really think about it. Like the first question is, how much my fears and doubts and worries have cost me? Give it a rating on 1 to 10. How much it has cost you? Really think about it. Really, really think about it. That is a big idea. Big idea. Okay? Think about it. And once you are done, you can just type yes in the chat box so that we can begin with the session. These questions are very, very, very important, guys. Your success depends largely upon how much you answered, how much honestly you answer these questions. If you're really honest and you answer these questions with supreme integrity, you will get a lot out of it. But if you answer these questions for just the sake of answering these questions, then you're not going to get what you should have got by answering these questions in a very honest manner. So really seriously think about it. Seriously. Okay. And there's one of my favorite questions, and that is on 7th number. Are you chasing your dreams or always trying to compromise your goals for others? Think about it. 7 number. It's one of my favorites. One of mine. All right. So I can see you have done it. All right. So I wait for a few more comments so that we have more number of people who have done that. And then we will get into the next part of this session. All right. Yarmak has done that. Amardev has done that. Renu has done it. And I think Dominica and Harish has also done it. Chintan has done that. Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's great. All right. All right. All right. So I think we are ready enough to begin. All right, guys. So pause for a minute now and bring your attention back here right now, right here on the slides. Who am I? Who am I? Who was thinking about it? Who am I? And I was telling you, you are a spiritual being, not just anybody who is living in this physical body, but you are a spirit. And guess what? Spirit is really powerful. You are an energy, mass of energy vibrating at a very high speed. In other words, you're capable of doing what you want to do. Seriously, you are. You are really, really capable of doing what you want to do. And the third step in this process that we was discussing is, where am I? Think about it. Where am I? and really ask yourself a question. Now, where I am doesn't mean that you say that I am in a seminar this right now. That's not what I mean. That's not where you are. Look at the page number 10 and see the quote at the top of the page. Knowing yourself is the beginning of the wisdom. In other words, you have to know about yourself, where you are, what your qualities are. Are you really putting those qualities into practice or not? Are you really making the changes that you know you should make or not? Where am I? Am I really honest with myself? Integrity is the principle that everyone should involve into their life. If you're not honest with yourself, you may easily end up going on the wrong track and pretty soon end up destroying your life for no apparent reason. So you really have to connect with yourself. Look at the quote at the last of the page. A person's growth is directly proportional to the amount of the truth he accepts about himself. Leland van der Waal said that. So how much truth you are accepting about yourself? For example, when I began my journey in 2015, I accepted a lot of truths about myself. I know that I'm not that much confident as I should has to be. I know that, I want to and I have to make hell lot of changes in myself if I want to grow. One of the biggest change I has to make was become comfortable in front of camera. I was one of the most shy students in my college. You can go out and ask anybody in my college, in my school, and they will tell you that he was like completely opposite of what he is today. And I became very honest with myself. And I know that if I want to be successful, I have to be expressive. That's what I became. Not by luck or chance, by choice. You can make a choice today and you can change your life forever. But you got to make that choice. Without making that choice, nothing is going to happen. So you really have to make that choice and you have to think seriously about making that choice. Otherwise, you will be fluttering out, doing this thing and that thing, and nothing will be changing. So you got to become very serious about yourself. And then came the fourth point, my critical decisions. Napoleon Hill wrote a complete chapter on this in this book on decision. We are covering that later on in this seminar. But my point here is you have to ask yourself certain questions. The first question is, and the first decision is, you should make with yourself that, am I really committed to follow my commitments? And if you look at the page number 11, on the fourth point, I have given you a small, exercise. You have to make a commitment with yourself and you have to sign that commitment. Zig Ziglar said that a goal that is casually set and lightly taken will be abandoned at the first obstacle. So you got to make those critical decisions. There are going to be some of decisions that will be very difficult for you to make, but you got to make them. You got to make them. Maybe you're in a job, you got to quit it. I did that 5 years ago. I was in a job, but I want to do my business. I quit that job. Was that easy? Not at all. I gone through a terrible year that I will be explaining on the day 3. You may be going through a lot of confusion and chaos in your mind when you're making decisions. And you know what I said? To make a decision, you have to understand the only prerequisite. Do you want it? And there is going to be a time when your paradigm is going to argue with you whole day long that that's not what it is. But that's what it is. You got to make committed decisions, not just flat, not just, all right, I'll do it. Remember, Napoleon Hill said that there is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. Nobody is ready for a thing until they believe. State of mind must be belief. And, open-mindedness is necessary for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief. You got to be open-minded. And you really have to build belief. Wishing never cuts. You got to believe in yourself. And you have to cut out everything that you don't want. Now, the decision is coming from a Latin word. The meaning is cut out from all other possibilities than the accept that you want. You have to cut out the daily trivia. Robert Heinlein said, he said, in the absence of clearly defined goal, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until or ultimately we become enslaved by it. So you got to cut out the things that are not serving you. Sandy Gallagher said, be proud enough to walk away from anything and anybody that no longer allows you to grow. So there are going to be some hard decisions, but be prepared to make them. Because if you are not ready, then probably and surely you may not end up getting what you want. And then the next step in the process is paying the price. What's that mean? The price is not just money, although money is going to be a big part of it, but you really, really have to pay the price. You have to pay the price in terms of commitment. You have to pay the price in terms of persistence. You know, if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, you will read stories of the people who were willing to pay the price. Edwin C. Barnes was willing to pay the price, putting his own life, whole life on stake, just for the accomplishment of one idea, to become the business partner of great Thomas A. Edison. And he did that. He was willing to pay the price. He went there to become partner, and he was ready to be there till the end until he became that partner. And he did that. Are you willing to pay the price? There are very interesting questions on that page also. And when we go into the break, my recommendation for you will be sit down, relax, and really think about it. Ponder upon these 7 points, because these 7 points build the foundation. Really, they are important. Price. You got to pay the price. We have paid the price. Every successful person has paid the price. And then the next one, comfortable with uncomfortable. Change is never easy. It is very, very difficult, but it is worth making. You know, at the shout of making decision, or at the shout of making the shift that you want in yourself, your paradigm is going to put up a royal battle. It will try to kick you out, knock you off track, but you got to bring yourself back here. Remember what Robin Sharma said. He said, change is difficult in the beginning, messy in the middle, gorgeous in the end. You got to stay till the end if you want to see the gorgeous side of the change. You can simply miss it if you don't stay there till the end, or you can get it if you stay there till the end. So be ready, be prepared to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. Every time when I set a new goal, I'm not comfortable at all. I know I'm stretching myself, and you will learn it why I'm saying that this is important. Mr. Sunil Chaya, tomorrow morning, he's going to show you why it is important in the goals section. And then the last but not the least, my commitment. You got to make a commitment with yourself. And your commitment should be very, very strong commitment. Commitment to your life, commitment to your goals, commitment, a lifelong commitment. Nothing happens until or unless you make a commitment. Remember, if you're setting your goals very lightly, you will abandon them at the first obstacle that you will face. You got to set your goals in a very serious manner. Your life is not a game. It is a serious matter. And you got to take it and you got to treat it with that seriousness. And that's what you have to take. Commitment is very, very important. Now we will be going right now into a 15 minutes break. And during the break, what I will encourage you to do is, I want every single one of you to read an article on page number 5, just 12 paragraphs, one page. Really sit, relax, and study it. Read it, every single line, play with every single idea, and then you will be very much ready and prepared for the next part, because the next part is changing one of our biggest paradigm, and that is decision making. And I'm really going to help you to understand the proper idea of decision making. Absolutely. You got to go on page number 5, guys. And on page number 5, there is an article on dreams. All right. So now we will go into break, and we will see you exact in 15 minutes. I will put up a timer here so that you can see that, and you can come back straight after 50 minutes. All right. So we are breaking out for break and see you in 15 minutes. Till then, really study it and really think about it. So see you in 15 minutes, everybody.